Some cities are built on steel and stone, others on stories. In this city of noise and neon, three strangers will meet, and what they create will heal far more than they ever expected. Aisha Rahman lived two lives. By day, a polished attorney, measured steps, sharp suits, soft yes sir replies. By night, an artist who painted barefoot on her balcony, the city lights reflecting in wet acrylic. She often whispered to the canvas, "Tell the truth, I can't." Her family didn't know about her art. Her father believed law was stability, art was risk. So, when the City Cultural Council announced a contest called "Who Am I Really?", Aisha entered anonymously. Weeks later, an email arrived. "Congratulations, you're one of 3 winners." She froze, reread the line 3 times, and then smiled. A small private victory. The exhibition would feature her alongside Daniel Brooks, a youth counselor turned photographer, and Mei Lee Wong, a muralist whose colors could make gray walls breathe. That night, Aisha looked at her latest painting, a woman stepping from a crowd, holding her own shadow. She titled it "Becoming." At the gallery preview, Aisha wore confidence like armor. Daniel greeted her first. Tall, soft-voiced, camera always in hand. "Your painting," he said, "feels like a heartbeat that's learning its rhythm." She laughed. "You sound like a poet, not a photographer." "Maybe both." May arrived last. Bright scarf, paint on her fingertips, eyes that saw everything. "Your woman in the crowd," May said, pointing. "She's not leaving, she's leading." I like that. Within minutes, 3 strangers felt oddly at home. They stayed long after closing, sitting on the polished floor among half-packed crates, trading stories. Daniel shared about his teens who fought depression. May spoke of moving countries and never feeling from anywhere. Aisha admitted she hid her art from her parents. "Sometimes," Daniel said, "the parts we hide most are the ones that heal others." Before leaving, May suggested, "Let's do something together. A collaboration. No rules, just truth." They agreed without hesitation. They rented an old warehouse near the river with cracked windows and rusted beams. May painted the walls white. Daniel strung lights from the ceiling, and Aisha spread drop cloths like prayers. Their theme, "Unmasked," each would create a piece showing the moment they stopped pretending. Days blurred into nights of laughter, takeout boxes, and paint-smudged clothes. But beneath the joy lingered fear. Fear of revealing too much. Daniel wrestled with guilt over a boy he couldn't save. May struggled with loneliness. And Aisha, she battled expectation. Every evening her father called. "Work late again?" "Yes, Baba." "Good. Keep your focus." The day she finally told him about the show, silence filled the phone. "You're better than that," he said quietly, and hung up. She wept into her sleeves, then turned her tears into art. Crimson brush strokes cutting through gold, forming wings out of pain. 3 nights before opening, rain hammered the city. Water leaked through the roof, flooding the warehouse. They scrambled to save canvases. Aisha slipped, her painting sliding across the floor, smearing color. When the lights flickered back, half her image was ruined, black streaks slicing through the wings. "Oh no!" she gasped. Daniel's hands were covered in dark paint from his own repairs. May's eyes narrowed slightly. "Daniel, what happened?" I tried to move it. I didn't mean." The tension was electric. Aisha's heart thudded, all her fears of trust exposed. But Daniel's trembling voice cracked. "I was scared you'd think I'm careless. I panicked." Silence. Then Aisha knelt beside him. "Accidents don't destroy art. They change it." They worked all night, blending damage into beauty. By dawn, the black streaks had become shadows beneath wings, stronger, more alive. Opening night gleamed with anticipation. The crowd filled the restored gallery, flashes flickering against fresh paint. Daniel's photos told stories of resilience, faces half lit, half hopeful. May's mural stretched across an entire wall, strangers holding hands through storms. Aisha's painting glowed like sunrise. A reporter asked, "What message ties your works together?" Aisha replied, voice steady, "We are not finished people, just masterpieces in progress." Applause erupted. Cameras flashed. In the back of the room stood a familiar silhouette. Her father. He watched quietly, pride and confusion mingling in his eyes. When their eyes met, he gave a small nod. It was all she needed. The exhibit went viral. Schools invited them to speak. Donations poured in for art therapy workshops. They named their initiative The Art of Becoming. Every week they met teens, single mothers, veterans, all painting, singing, writing without fear. Daniel guided reflection sessions. May created murals with neighborhoods. Aisha handled outreach and mentorship. Their once broken warehouse became a beacon of light. One afternoon, Aisha returned home to find a package on her doorstep. Her childhood sketchbook wrapped in brown paper. Inside was a note. "You were born to color the world, not fit inside its lines. Baba." She pressed the paper to her chest and smiled. A year later, they planned a reunion show. When they unlocked the gallery doors, a new painting stood on the easel. Unsigned, it showed 3 figures walking toward a sunrise. Underneath, written in delicate script, "For those still becoming." None of them had painted it. The security cameras showed an elderly man entering at dawn, leaving before light. Aisha recognized the handwriting instantly. Tears welled as she whispered, "He finished our story." May smiled through tears. "No, he joined it." Daniel added, "Maybe that's what becoming really means. We keep adding brush strokes to each other's lives." They hung the anonymous piece as the centerpiece of the new exhibit. Crowds gathered, unaware that behind those colors was a father's silent apology and a daughter's forgiveness. Becoming isn't a straight line. It's painted in layers: fear, failure, grace, and second chances. Aisha found her voice, Daniel found peace, and May found belonging. But more than anything, they discovered that when stories collide, healing multiplies. And maybe the real masterpiece was never on the canvas at all. It was the courage to be seen, flaws and all. Out to soft piano, the city glowing like a living mural. You've just watched Twists and Truths, Aisha, Daniel, and May, the art of becoming. What part of their journey spoke to you? Comment below, and remember, every life is still a work in progress.